Hi guys, here we are with the first episode of the Night's Chemistry. So we are here to have a conversation about fast bowling. So hi Lockie, so tell me about your time during the World Cup and off it. How's it been?
It was really exciting. I think the World Cup, when I look back, it was quite a long tournament. But going into the tournament, I felt that my bowling in itself wasn't in a good position, undercooked as they say, and so heading into a big tournament like that, I was obviously nervous, had a few things needed to work out, but also I knew I had played in England before and had some success there. So for me, that's always quite a big positive when you've gone to a country and you've played there before. But yeah, it was really exciting. Obviously, we're pretty happy with how it went right until the last moment, and it wasn't to be. But awesome to sort of go that far with a team that was probably regarded as the underdogs the whole time.
So I think with you guys, you had a really intact fast bowling unit. That looked amazing for us from the outside. You guys were working together. So tell me more about that as well.
Yeah, we're quite a settled fast bowling unit, and we have not only the guys on the field, but Tim Southey, the guys back home in New Zealand. We have a lot of depth in terms of our fast bowling in New Zealand at the moment, so that creates a lot of competition for spots. But having said that, we also work really tightly together, and we're trying to make sure that when we play the game, we talk about partnerships, just like batting. We have the same with bowling, and try to leave the bowler who's coming on in a good position and try to build pressure with your overs so that when the other bowler comes on, he comes into a position where the batter's struggling maybe, or he's under pressure. And if you can keep doing that from both ends and all the bowlers buy in, start well and finish well, then it creates pressure throughout the innings, and then it falls back on the batters. And that's often in international cricket where you get the rewards. It's not as easy just to run in and blow out stumps. You actually have to build pressure from both ends. So yeah, we pride ourselves a lot on that, the Black Caps. And I think because we have played together for so long now, and we know each other well, then we sort of pride ourselves on that.
I think it's going to be the same with us as well. We've been together this second year. We've really had a good chemistry between all of us. Sandy, Kamlesh, Mavi, Pat coming in, you know him well. So I think we are going to use some of that chemistry as well on the ground this year.
I agree. I think that the group we have is a very open, honest group of young bowlers, and the likes of Pat's only going to add to that group as well. And Ali Khan, of course, now too. But I think that if we can create a bit of a team within a team, if the fast bowlers are all working together and we come off the park, and not always are you going to have the day where you get 2 for nothing. You might get no wickets or might have bowled the tough overs, but your other partners, your other fast bowling mates and teammates will recognise the hard work you've done and get around you. And I think if you can build that sort of mentality and a team mentality when you play the game, then you'll work together much better and you'll get more success. Yeah, bro. So how are you chucking? You've had a bit of injuries of late, but the body's come good?
Yeah, I missed quite a bit of cricket from, I think, September last year. It's been a tough time. I mean, all fast bowlers, all of us have to go through this period to, see the brighter side of things. Yeah, I did miss some cricket this domestic season. I came back, I played a bit of cricket then, and unfortunately for Corona and COVID that happened, I was off cricket for some time. But yeah, glad to be back here playing cricket. I mean, back in a place where you love everybody around. We're having such a nice time bowling together, playing around, having our times off field as well. So I think I'm excited to get back on cricket.
And how did you manage because injury it was a big injury, and at quite a crucial time. You were telling me earlier, sort of semi-final, getting close to a final, and the big games, which is what we all want to play.
Exactly.
How did you manage that sort of disappointment at that time, and what goals did you set going forward so you could kind of break it down?
Yeah, it did happen at a really bad time for me personally, because it happened in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
We did end up winning the tournament. I was there with the team and we won the finals.
Great.
And we had our celebration and all that done. And then the T20s happened, and our state team won the T20s as well. So I think to have missed so much of cricket, it was initially, I was feeling frustrated, but then I learned, that was the best time I had of cricket to get back. I wanted to be 110%, 150% when I got back, because that's the only thing you can think of. You need to have something that keeps you going.
For sure.
Yeah, so I did miss cricket a lot. I think once I'm back, the only thing I don't regret is that I wasn't, put down because of injuries and all that. I did have the positive mindset that anybody would want to have.
I think that's it. I think sometimes, I know injuries at the time obviously suck massively, and when you go back to the hotel room, you're like so gutted because your body's let you down for that period of time. But I always find that I'm super hungry. Once I sort of get over that initial hump, the disappointment of not playing, then all of a sudden your hunger comes back for cricket, because we play so much now that sometimes it can just be like you get a bit on the Ferris wheel, but then I think when you get those positions, you can actually check on where your career is at and what you want to achieve going forward, and kind of gives you a bit of fire, a bit of hunger to get back out there when you see everyone else playing and you just want to play.
Absolutely. I think even now for all of us to the 6, 12, 10 days quarantine period that we have, it was so itching for us to get back on the field. I mean, it felt like 2-3 months long. So I think time off cricket is really, it's not something for all of us to take.
Yeah.
So how's everything else? How are your preparations for the IPL been?
Yeah, good. We've been fortunate in New Zealand where we've been out of lockdown. So, but once again, none of us have played any cricket really for a long period of time. My last game was in March, which was the Sydney game when there was no fans in the crowd, just before we got sent home. So that one game I had to collect the ball from the stands, which was a bit interesting. But hopefully I don't have to do that too much this tournament, but I'm sure it'll be kind of similar. You're so used to playing in front of big crowds and electricity that you then play at a crowd where you can hear your team cheering, which is, kind of takes you back to playing club cricket. I'm very excited to be here, back with the KKR crew, because, I got along with everyone so well last year, and we did a lot of hard work last year. Didn't necessarily go our way, but I think this year the group seems like in a really positive mind frame, and we've got some pretty exciting players.
I've seen you bowl some of the best Yorkers in the team. You're really quick, and we all know you can clock 150. So tell me something about your mindset when you're running into bowl a Yorker.
It's more of a confidence thing, Yorker, because the time you're trying to bowl a Yorker quite often is at the death, right? So you need to execute. For me, when I'm trying to train, like I'm back bowling today, I bowl at a pad and have a pad down at the Yorker length, and every time it hits the pad, I get those sort of endorphins because you feel good, and because it hits the pad and makes a noise, and everyone looks around because you've hit the pad, and so I try to replicate that as much as possible and try to instill that positive mindset that I'm hitting the pad, rather than sometimes when you're hitting a disc, then you don't quite know and you don't get that positive feedback. So I think it's more mental for me personally than anything.
I think the same for me as well. It's about confidence, like you said. It's really important to feel confident when you're running into ball a Yorker, because any sort of doubt is going to get the ball a centimeter ahead or behind where you want to land it.
For sure.
Anything of that sort is an easy sixer for a batsman. So even for me, I try and get a feel of it when I'm bowling in the nets. Like you said, we have a target there. Make sure it hits it. You get a visual feedback saying I've hit the target, something like a sound or something.
One other thing that I must admit I do is I try to bowl a Yorker like in my first few overs.
So that it helps you throughout.
It helps you because if you can nail a Yorker in the first over or two, then your confidence is like, great, I've nailed a Yorker. And if you don't, often it's not the end of the world, because the batter's not trying to hit you for 6.
Correct, yeah.
He might get it away for 4 potentially, but it's not the end of the world. So that's something I try to do. I was doing it through the World Cup a bit as well. My second over, I just bowl a Yorker. Sometimes to try to get a wicket, and sometimes it worked. You get a wicket, and then it works brilliant. So
what do we guys look forward to in terms of your mush this year?
So it's been a bit late growing this year, but I've been having a lot of the KKR fans messaging me plenty. It's quite funny, every time I do an interview, the first question they ask is, where's the moustache? So not really focused on my bowling, just my facial hair, but yeah, I'm trying to grow it back, so hopefully the curls will be back by the time we start. So Prasidh, if we're in the IPL final, 1 over left, we need to defend 20. Decent, but still gettable in the T20, right? You're bowling to the best batter in the world, whoever it might be, who the hardest batter is for you to bowl to. What kind of mindset are you taking into that over? And what do you build on? Say potentially that your first 3 overs hadn't gone as well as you'd hoped, but now you're bowling the over that could mean everything. What kind of mindset do you think?
I think firstly, the extra confidence that I would be feeling is my team trusted me to bowl the last over, the most important over, because you can win it for your team, you make it or break it for your team. I think that's confidence booster for me. So the moment I stand at my run-up point, I try and think about all that I have practiced, and it's again, like we speak about, it's about confidence. It's about nailing the first ball. I try and look at what my stock delivery is or what my strongest delivery is at that ball. So I try and bowl that. I'm sure if I have to imagine about it, I'm sure I'm going to nail it, and then from there it's all about momentum. Try and bluff the batsman, try and make sure you land your Yorkers right, your slow ones right. And
how long does it take as well when you bowl those last overs, man? It's like the longest over in the world.
As long as you bowl the first 2 balls well, everything's going to go fast after that. In case you miss your first or second ball, landing it at the right spot, and it is going to be a long over.
Pressure's back on the batters. Yeah,
hopefully
that's
we
nice.
can replicate some of it in the practice matches that we play.
Hard, yeah. No, I'm looking forward to playing some practice games. It'll be good. That'll be sweet. Nice work, man.
All right, man. See you.
Good work, brother.
Nice talking to you.